This is a video I am so excited to be making. I've been chasing the Aurora for 5 years. I'd always wanted to see it, but around about 2016 was when I actively started trying. I travelled around the north of Scotland a lot that year, and I also went to Iceland, and I didn't see it. I wouldn't see it until now, winter 2021. So on Wednesday the 3rd of November I was editing my video for Team C's because that's how late I leave these things, and I got a notification. I've had a couple of Aurora apps on my phone for pretty much the entire 5 years that I've been chasing it. Initially I had wanted to capture the Aurora to put it into a film I was making in 2016, so that was where the hunt sort of began. But I didn't get it for my film, and I kind of just continued anytime I got a notification or anytime I thought there was a good chance, just going for it. So the alert was an amber alert, which means that there's a chance you'll see it, but it's not guaranteed. And it was only about 9 p.m, so I thought, okay, well, the night is young. I know a place I can go to that's only 20 minutes drive from here, so why not? I layered up, got my camera gear together and headed out into the night. I didn't have great expectations for this attempt. It was only an amber alert, so there was only a chance that I would see it. And also, when you do something for 5 years and never see any results, you begin to think that it's just not going to happen. I had set myself a curfew of 10:30 because I thought that I wasn't going to see it, and when you're standing around in the dark and cold for a really long time, it's quite intense. When I was driving to the place I was going to go, I was obviously thinking a lot about the Aurora, and steamed hams came into my head. It's that scene in The Simpsons where Principal Skinner burns the roast he was going to make, and then he decides to disguise Krusty Burger as his own cooking, but then Superintendent Chalmers sees the fire in his kitchen and asks what it is, and Skinner tells him it's the Aurora Borealis. The Aurora Borealis! At this time of year, at this time of day, at this part of the country, localised entirely within your kitchen. I actually recited the whole thing from Chalmers arriving at Skinner's house all the way up to Skinner's mum shouting at him because the house is on fire. I know it because I memorised it recently for a performance, but we'll not get into that today. It just kind of kept me amused on my journey up to Portencross. Portencross is a small village on the west coast of Scotland that has a very rugged beach. I actually went there for some B-roll in another video, so here you can see what it looks like through the day. There's also a castle there, and that seems like the type of thing that would be really exciting to get in a photo with the Aurora. This castle isn't exactly oldie-worldy, it kind of just looks like a house. But the main thing was that I knew that this beach had a really clear view of the north, and that's what I needed. So another thing that was really unique about this night was that there was absolutely no cloud in the sky, which is so rare for Scotland. Most of my failed attempts to see the Aurora have been because of cloud cover. And another interesting thing was that there was no moon on this night. The moon was in a phase where it wasn't reflecting any light at the earth, which is perfect for Aurora conditions because you don't have a competing source of light in the sky. Just as I got to Portencross, the amber alert then became a red alert, so suddenly there was a really high chance of being able to see the Aurora across the UK. The app actually said you could see it from England and Wales as well. Okay, there's like some weird stuff going on with light right now, and like this massive reflection just came through the window and lit up my face. My relationship with natural light has been really odd this week. I don't think it's helping the video. I think it kind of makes me look like I'm in some sort of noir film. I'm gonna move this thing. Okay, we're back. So when I arrived at Portencross, I looked up at the sky and you could see the stars so clearly. And there was this green and red hue in the sky, and I looked at it and I thought to myself, that's not the Aurora. This is just my eyes adjusting to the light. It's not real. So I set up my camera and pointed it at the sky, and I captured this blurry mess. But I looked at it and I realised this is the aurora. It wasn't in focus, but it was definitely the pattern that I was looking for. So I focus better and I adjust my settings and I just keep hitting the shutter. And I'm also looking at the sky in disbelief. Now, the sky doesn't look like this to the naked eye. It looks more like this. This is a failed attempt to get me and the aurora in the same picture. But it gives you an idea of what I could see versus what the camera could see. And I was just in awe. I set up my camera to do a time lapse, which meant that it was just going to be taking loads of pictures and I didn't need to touch anything. And in that moment, I started to jump up and down with glee. I was screaming. I was like talking to myself. I messaged my brothers. I messaged my friends. I was just so excited about this. And I just remember having these bursts of energy and these bursts of excitement. And yeah, I was just really losing it in the moment. I completely forgot that there was other people around. And like 15 minutes prior to this, I had drawn up to the car park and seen loads of other people doing exactly what I was doing, getting their camera equipment out of the car and heading to the beach. But it wasn't until in my mad running around craziness that I walked in front of another photographer and suddenly realised that there were other people there. And I was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm just in a world of my own right now. And the guy was just like, it's fine. It's like, there's other people here. But honestly, there was a moment there where I was like, whoa, I'm still on Earth. The word aurora is derived from the name of the Roman goddess of the dawn, Aurora, who travelled from east to west announcing the coming of the sun. Ancient Greek poets used the name metaphorically to refer to dawn, often mentioning its play of colours across the otherwise dark sky. I found myself looking at the aurora for a really long time, and also looking up at the Milky Way, which I had never seen so clearly before. I didn't manage to get a picture of it, but I stared deeply into it. And I know this sounds really hippie, but it felt like the universe was watching me. And I just stared deeply into it, and it stared deeply back at me, and I felt very connected. I've never been very spiritual before, and I'm staunchly skeptical about these things, but there was something different about this. I had never experienced standing alone, staring out at the sky, seeing all these constellations and the depth of the universe out there. I cannot stress how clear this was. And for the aurora to be there dancing as well, it just really felt like an experience. I don't know how else to describe it. As the night went on, the aurora faded and I got pretty cold. So I decided to head home round about 11 p.m. There was actually another storm, as they call it, which was around 1 a.m. But it was a school night, and even though I don't start work until 10 a.m. and I work from home, I still need my beauty sleep. I was so elated at having had seen it though. There was a feeling inside me different to ASMR. It wasn't tingling. It was like euphoria or just endorphins. It was like right in the core of my body. And I was just having these little bursts of excitement whilst I was in the car driving home. Like just every now and then I would just have this like energy, and I was like so excited at having seen the aurora. And then being in the car reminded me of the whole Simpsons thing, and I was like, is this a ritual? Is this what you have to do when you go to the aurora? Do you have to recite that scene and then you'll see it? And although I have no proof that that works, I think if I'm ever going again, that's what I'm going to do. So I came home and I told my brother all about it. He actually had ended up coming out to the same spot and taking some photos as well. He'd also never seen it before, and he also dropped everything he was doing to like run and find it. By the time I had got everything off my camera and ready to post online, it was like midnight, 1 a.m. So I put my photos out into the world and I was like, everyone I know is asleep. There's going to be nobody sharing in my celebration or excitement at this moment in time. But I honestly didn't care. I was so excited that I had seen it, that I had captured it. I was just like this is one of the best moments of my life. I believe, like, of all the opportunities in life, this is one that should have been easy for me. But I'm also a firm believer in having patience. Good things come to those who wait. I know that's the slogan for Guinness, but it can also apply to Aurora Borealis and other natural phenomenon. Anyway, thank you for watching this video today. If you know anyone else who would enjoy it, please share it with them. Maybe you know someone who's been chasing the aurora for as long as I have, or even longer, and maybe you want to piss them off, I don't know, and be like, hey, it happened for this girl, why can't it happen for you? And then maybe start some sort of rivalry that spurs you both to go and find it, and then you never know, you might even see it better than I ever did and make your own video that does better than this one. Or however you want to share it is fine. See you next time.